What is rice? Many countries have their own rice dish that highlights local cuisine and culture. Paella in Spain, risotto in Italy, arroz rojo in Mexico, bibimbap in Korea, sushi in Japan, and so on. Rice is a mainstay for many worldwide, yet popular diets like Keto, Whole30, Paleolithic, and other low-carb plans ban this carb. Is rice actually healthy, or should it be avoided? Brown rice is not a specific variety of rice, it describes many varieties of rice in their natural, whole grain form. Because brown rice still has its fibrous bran layer, it takes longer to cook and digest, and has a chewier and nuttier flavor than its refined, white rice counterpart. White rice is refined brown rice. It has been milled and polished to remove the outer brown bran layer. This process alters the flavor and texture of the rice and extends its storage life. Rice varieties are classified as short, medium, or long grain. This refers to the length and width ratio of the rice grain when cooked. The most notable difference between different grains is their starch profile. Long grain rice has a firm, dry texture, and stays separate after cooking. Basmati and jasmine rice are common varieties of long grain rice. Medium grain rice has a tender, moist texture, and grains stick to each other when cooked. Valencia rice is a common variety of medium grain rice. Short grain rice has a tender, soft texture, and it is stickier than medium grain rice. Arborio and sushi rice, short grain rice originated from Japan, are common varieties of short grain rice. Rice, or Rhiza sativa, is the seed of a cereal grass. It's one of the most important dietary carbohydrates in the world, with over half the global population depending on it. Typically boiled or steamed, rice can also be ground into a gluten-free flour. It's a central component of many cuisines including those of India, China, and Southeast Asia. There are many types of rice, but broadly speaking they are categorized by their shape, long or short grain, and color, white or brown. White rice has had the fiber-rich outer bran of the grain removed along with the nutrient-rich germ. As a result, it has a longer shelf life, is quick to cook but has a bland, neutral flavor. Nutritionally it has less fiber and protein than the whole grain equivalent. Brown rice, on the other hand, contains both the bran and germ, making it nutrient and fiber-rich and retains a nutty flavor. The planet practically lives on rice. Rice is a grain that is eaten all over the world, in Asia, in several African countries and European countries, and in Central and South American countries. It's a staple around the world. More than half of the world's population relies on rice as a staple food. In 2018, 485 million metric tons of rice was produced globally. It is not a food we ought to be afraid of or made into a villain. High carb. Yes, rice is a high carbohydrate food. But carbs aren't bad. Your brain and muscles thrive on carbohydrates, or glucose, and use the nutrient as a main energy source. Our brains use 5 grams of glucose every hour to function. That's 120 grams of glucose per day. 1/3 cup of cooked rice has 15 grams of carbohydrate, thereby showing it can be part of a healthy diet. Depending on your meal or food or cultural preferences, you can eat rice with beans, rice and sushi, and rice as a side with Asian dishes. Rice can be the main part of the dish, as in risotto, or as part of the dishes in paella. Not all rice, however, is created equal. Brown rice is often considered to be preferable to white rice, but the grains actually come from the same plant. Rice is the seeds of grains or grass plants that grow in water-submerged fields. During harvesting and processing, when only the outer hull layer is removed, you get brown rice, which is considered a whole grain. Further removal of the hull and bran layers leaves what we know as white rice. Rice, especially brown rice, is also rich in fiber, manganese, selenium, iron, magnesium, copper, and B vitamins. Fiber, in particular, can help the digestion of food, improve cholesterol levels, and help you feel full longer, which is important in weight management. The other nutrients in rice help support the immune system. Nutritional benefits of rice. A 100-gram serving of white rice, boiled, provides 131 kilocalories or 560 kJ, 2.8 grams protein, 0.4 grams fat, 31.1 grams carbohydrate, half a gram fiber. A 100 gram serving of brown rice, boiled, provides 132 kcal or 562 kJ, 3.6 grams protein, 0.9 grams fat, 29.2 grams carbohydrate, 1.5 grams fiber, 48 milligrams magnesium, 125 milligrams phosphorus. Common types of rice. Rice in a bowl. Jasmine rice. Jasmine rice is originally from Thailand. It has a delicate floral aroma and soft, sticky texture. Traditionally, jasmine rice is steam cooked. Coconut rice is a great recipe to try with jasmine rice. Basmati rice. Basmati rice is hill rice originated from the Himalayan hills and has a flakier, drier texture than jasmine rice. Basmati rice is typically boiled. Basmati rice is great for pilaf, biryani, and fried rice recipes. Arborio rice. Arborio rice has a soft texture and is a popular option for making risotto because its starch creates a creamy finish. Wild rice. Wild rice is not related to the rice family, or Rhiza sativa. It is a seed from an aquatic grass species, genus Seasonia. Despite its name, most wild rice is cultivated in farms, not grown in the wild. Salad and soup. Wild rice salad or chicken wild rice soup is a favorite ways to enjoy wild rice. So, is white rice healthy? Let's set the record straight, white doesn't mean devoid of nutrients. And although white rice is indeed lower in certain nutrients than its counterpart, brown rice, the benefits of white rice should be looked at with a closer lens. First, some background on white rice. Rice is a grain. Brown rice is whole grain rice, with all parts of the grain remaining intact. With white rice, the grain is polished in a way that removes two parts, the bran and embryo, and leaves a starchy section called the endosperm, according to the Harvard School of Public Health. This process removes the majority of naturally occurring B vitamins, in addition to minerals, phytochemicals, and fiber. White rice labeled enriched means that B vitamins and iron have been added back, but only at a fraction of their original levels. White rice nutrition. 1 cup of cooked white rice contains just over 200 calories, about 4 grams of protein, 44 grams of carbohydrate, and less than 1 gram of fiber, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. That's about the number of carbs in 3 slices of white bread, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. White rice does contain nutrients such as magnesium, phosphorus, manganese, selenium, iron, folic acid, thiamine, and niacin. According to this article from 2016 in the Journal of Nutritional Science and Vitaminology, white rice is also low in fiber and fat. Compared to brown rice, the vitamin and mineral content in unenriched white rice is fairly low. For example, a 1-cup portion of brown rice provides 78 milligrams of magnesium compared to 19 milligrams in white rice. And the potassium content of brown rice is 174 milligrams per cup cooked compared to 55 milligrams in white rice. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, brown rice also packs more fiber at 3 grams per cup cooked. It does make sense that white rice would have fewer nutrients than brown rice since when the bran is removed, some of the nutrients are too. It is according to an article from 2016 in the Journal of Nutritional Science and Vitaminology. White rice and diabetes. Excess rice consumption may lead to post-meal spikes in blood sugar and, in turn, raise insulin levels. A 2020 study published in Diabetes Care looked at data from more than 130,000 people in 21 countries. The researchers found that higher consumption of white rice was associated with an increased risk of incident diabetes, though they pointed out that while other studies have received similar results, there are also other studies that have drawn different conclusions about white rice's impact on diabetes risk. For instance, this study from 2015 published in Annals Nutrition and Metabolism is population-based in China, and showed that a diet with high white rice intake led to a lower prevalence of diabetes. White rice and resistant starch. Cooking and then cooling starches, including white rice, has been shown to increase the formation of a substance called resistant starch. According to this 2014 article from Critical Reviews in Food Science and Nutrition, Resistant starch is a unique kind of carbohydrate that's been shown to naturally up the body's fat-burning furnace. You can't digest or absorb resistant starch. And when it reaches the large intestine, it gets fermented, which triggers the body to burn fat. A study from 2015 in the Asia-Pacific Journal of Clinical Nutrition analyzed the resistant starch contents of freshly cooked white rice. Cooked white rice cooled for 10 hours, and cooked white rice cooled for 24 hours and then reheated. The results showed that cooking the rice upped the resistant starch content. In addition, researchers assessed the impact of the 3 rice samples in 15 healthy adults. The consumption of both types of cooled rice resulted in significantly lower post-meal blood sugar responses compared to freshly cooked rice. If it's possible, allow white rice to cool to room temperature before eating, or chill in the refrigerator for later use. If you choose white rice over whole grain, consider cooling it prior to eating it in order to blunt its impact on blood sugar. And pair white rice with nutrient-rich whole foods. Or alternate white rice with other whole grain options, including brown and wild rice, quinoa, oats, and millet. Keep in mind that no single food makes or breaks the healthfulness of your overall eating pattern, and white rice is an important staple in many cultures. And remember, rice can be incorporated into nearly any meal and used in both savory and sweet dishes. Add rice to a breakfast scramble, along with eggs or plant-based egg substitutes, veggies, and herbs. Enjoy a grain bowl with rice, veggies, and lean protein. Add it to stir-fries, soups, and veggie chili, or serve as a side dish. Tasty rice treats include rice pudding, mango sticky rice, sweet coconut rice, and even toasted rice ice cream. Rice can also be used in place of oats as a hot or chilled breakfast porridge prepared with plant milk, fruit, nuts or seeds, and spices. There are many ways to enjoy white rice. What are the 5 top health benefits of rice? 1. May help maintain a healthy weight. Brown rice contains fiber and protein, both known to have a satiating effect and contributing to a lower glycemic index, GI, than that of white rice. This means the carbs supplied by a portion of brown rice are converted to energy more steadily. For this reason, opting for brown rice over white helps reduce blood glucose and fasting insulin levels. All of which stabilizes energy levels, prevents cravings and may help with weight management. The picture with white rice is less clear, with some studies suggesting an increase in weight gain and in particular belly fat, whilst other studies show no connection. However, it is thought that a substantial serving of white rice, eaten on a regular basis, may lead to elevations in blood sugar levels, which over time may increase your risk of metabolic syndrome, including weight gain. 2. Brown rice protects against chronic disease. Brown rice retains the bran layer and as such contains protective compounds called flavonoids. Examples of these include apigenin and quercetin. These compounds play an important role in protecting against disease. Numerous studies suggest including whole grains, like brown rice, in the diet is linked to a reduced risk of conditions like heart disease, some cancers including pancreatic and gastric cancers as well as type 2 diabetes. 3. White rice supports energy and restores glycogen levels after exercise. Athletes often opt for white rice as a preferred source of energy, especially when refueling after exercise. This is because refined carbs, like white rice, are a source of quick, easily accessible carbohydrate which is needed to replenish muscle glycogen after physical exertion. 4. White rice is easy on the digestive system. White rice is easily digested, low in fiber and when cooked and served correctly is unlikely to cause gastric upset. It may be a useful inclusion for those who suffer from heartburn or nausea as well as during the flare-ups associated with conditions like diverticulitis and Crohn's disease. 5. It's a gluten-free grain. Being naturally gluten-free, rice is a valuable option for those with celiac disease or non-celiac gluten sensitivity. The brown, whole grain variety is especially useful because it supplies insoluble fiber, which promotes digestive function and fuels the beneficial gut bacteria which are so important for health. Is rice safe for everyone? Rice is an important dietary staple, however, reports have linked it with arsenic contamination, high levels of which, over a consistent period, have been linked with an increased risk of heart disease and cancer. The accumulation of arsenic tends to be greatest in the bran part of the grain, which means whole grain rice may potentially have higher amounts of this heavy metal contaminant than white rice. Given their smaller body weight, exposure to arsenic is of more concern for children. This risk is increased by their limited dietary choices and the fact that many first foods are rice-based. For this reason, rice milk, which is made from the bran of the grain, should be avoided for all children under 5 years of age. Some useful kitchen tips may help reduce levels of arsenic, such as washing rice before use and using a high volume of water to rice when cooking. That said, rice eaten in moderation as part of a varied and balanced diet should not be a problem for the majority of people. Which is healthier, brown rice or white rice? A nutritional tale of the tape provides a clear winner by knockout. Hands down, brown rice brings more to the table. But brown rice might not always be your best choice depending on some personal health factors. Why rice is a big dietary deal? Approximately 20% of the world's calorie intake is connected to the humble rice grain, making it one of the most important foods on the planet. Daily staple diet. More than 3.5 billion people rely on rice as a daily staple of their diet. To feed that need, farmers grow more than 100,000 different varieties of rice in a rainbow of colors. Thankfully, though, your mealtime choice typically gets narrowed down to a pair of options, brown or white. Out of the two, white rice is far and away the most common to find on your plate. Largely due to ease of cooking, a longer pantry shelf life and a neutral flavor profile that meshes well with other ingredients. Differences between brown rice and white rice. Whole grains such as rice can be broken down into three main parts: the germ, bran and endosperm. Each component packs different minerals, vitamins and proteins that offer you varying nutritional value. Brown rice contains all three parts, making it a whole grain. In fact, when you get rid of the bran and germ in rice, here's what you're really removing nutrition-wise. Calcium, which is important for teeth and bone health. Fat, which consists of healthy unsaturated fats that are important for cardiovascular health. Phosphorus, which collaborates with calcium to form strong bones and teeth. Vitamins B1, thiamine, and B3, niacin, which helps keep the nervous system functioning properly. Protein, which helps build muscle and is essential for growth and development. Magnesium, which is important for proper neurological function, among many other benefits. White rice? Not so much. Processing strips white rice of the germ and bran, leaving the starchy, and least nutritious, endosperm center. Manufacturers do enrich white rice to replace some of what's lost during processing. Basically, they strip it down and try to redress it. But the final product still falls short of the nutritional level where it began. Benefits of brown rice. Don't let the small size of a grain of rice fool you. Inside that little husk resides nutrients with the power to reduce your cholesterol levels and lower your risk of heart disease, stroke and diabetes. Brown rice outpaces white rice in dietary fiber, manganese, magnesium, niacin, phosphorus, vitamins B1, thiamine, and B6, pyridoxine. It's a complex carbohydrate, too, which can help you manage your cholesterol and lose weight. Brown rice will also keep you feeling full longer, which helps when you're watching how much you eat. There's one negative on the ledger for brown rice: arsenic. Brown rice contains elevated levels of the naturally occurring toxic element, which is present in many foods. It's not enough to cause harm in a typical diet. Women who are pregnant, however, may want to limit consumption. Is white rice bad for you? The short answer is no. At least when eaten in moderation. Is it the best food for you? No. But it's not going to hurt you. Enriched white rice serves as a good source of folic acid, which is recommended for pregnant women to help with the prenatal development of their child. It's also recommended for mothers who breastfeed. Arsenic is not as present in white rice after processing. White rice also may be preferable if you're on a low-fiber diet or have a sensitive stomach. But it's not hard to find criticism of white rice, particularly regarding how it can make your blood sugar levels spike. Some researchers even equate a serving of white rice to eating pure table sugar. Additionally, research shows that a diet heavy in white rice could increase your risk of developing diabetes. Whole grain brown rice has the opposite effect. Get creative with your menu. If you just can't decide between brown rice and white rice, pick them both. Mix the varieties. Cooking times vary for brown rice and white rice, which will require some in the kitchen adjustments. It's important to know there's not just one option or a simple choice between brown rice and white rice. Take advantage of the variety. That may be the healthiest choice of all. Many choose brown rice over white to add better nutrients to their diet or to maintain a healthy weight, but fail to understand whether it is worth making this swap. There are several myths about the consumption of white rice that are often believed. You should stop feeling guilty about choosing white rice over brown rice. Here are the reasons why you should eat white rice guilt-free. White rice is easy to digest as compared to brown rice. Do you consume white rice regularly and feel guilty about it? It is commonly believed that eating rice can make you fat. The white rice versus brown rice debate is quite popular among fitness enthusiasts. Many choose brown rice over white to add better nutrients to their diet or to maintain a healthy weight, but fail to understand whether it is worth making this swap. There are several myths about the consumption of white rice that are often believed. You should stop feeling guilty about choosing white rice over brown rice. Healthy? Is white rice not good for your health? Brown rice is unrefined and contains the whole grain. This means that it consists of the fiber-rich bran, the nutrient-rich germ and the carb-rich endosperm. On the other hand, white rice is devoid of bran and the germ, making it less nutritious than the brown version. Brown rice also has more antioxidants and all the key vitamins, whereas white rice is considered as just empty calories compared to it. But before you make a decision, here are some things you must know. The outer layer or the bran of the brown rice has phytic acid, which makes it harder to digest the rice. Phytic acid is a gut distressor. So, if you are someone with a sensitive stomach or gluten allergies that flare up often, you do well by not having brown rice. White rice is easier on your digestive system. It is also a natural source of zinc. You can have steamed white rice with lots of vegetables and dal to counter the empty calorie carb-rich aspect of the grain. It is also a great idea to combine white rice with lots of fiber-rich veggies. Also, do not miss proteins and healthy fats to cut down your chances of missing out on the nutrients. Those suffering from diabetes too can eat white rice. If you are diabetic and don't want to give up your rice, make sure you combine it with the right food and just stop worrying about the glycemic index. That can be well managed with the right combination of veggies and dals. You can seek help from an expert to understand the right combination and portion according to your condition. Rice is a staple food in many countries around the world for good reason. It is an important and nutritious cereal crop that feeds more than half of the world's population. Rice should be an accepted and celebrated component of a balanced diet.